2016 says I just whipped your ass.
Yes! You just made the list!
Brock Lesnar.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jovan.
And my name is Joshua Plummer.
And yes, we are back. And this time, Josh is back for obviously the last review. You were unable to attend with the Hell in a Cell curse striking again.
Very much so.
So Josh is back here to review Money in the Bank 2021. And I think the second pay-per-view this year that had fans. Actual breathing people there. No fun. The Thunderdome era is now over, and we actually have human people in arenas now, and it was freaking awesome to see them all back again.
As Drew McIntyre said in his backstage promo during the show, I'd be a very, very happy man if I never have to hear the words Thunderdome ever again.
100% agree with that sentiment. It's so glad that it's like it totally proves that without fans, wrestling is kind of, I don't want to say pointless because it isn't. It's kind of, it needs it. So nice to have fans back, but then there were some matches in this show that, when the crowd were really quiet, reminded me of the old days when we used to have pay-per-views where, yeah, they're really hyped up and, you know, the fans are really up for it, but then they run out of steam very quickly if the match is great. So it doesn't solve the problem in some ways, but yeah, so fans are back. That's awesome. So it's obviously, it was in Fort Worth, Texas, of all places. I think it was can't remember what the arena is.
The Dickies Arena.
What a weird name for arena, right? So weird. But so first, I think first of many. Obviously, I think was it SummerSlam's going to be in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Vegas, Nevada. So that should be fun. So going into it, I kind of was really looking forward to the main event. I guess a lot of people, it's kind of the WrestleMania main event we should have got instead of the triple threat. Was great, but this was the match that everyone kind of wanted, right?
Oh, absolutely. With the promo package as well, they kind of completely wrote off Daniel Bryan if Daniel Bryan was like ever in the match. Like, hold on a second, there was a whole big three storylines going on here. It wasn't just Edge's like, yeah, this is my moment, like 10 years it didn't happen. It's like, well, yeah, because you had not only Roman to overcome, but you also had Daniel Bryan as well.
He's pissed him off again, so it's like, we're going to do what we always do. We just tell them that he didn't exist at all. Rewrite history. I kind of hated that. It's like the guy's done nothing to them other than just he wanted to go somewhere else, and now it's just like they've done it to Roman Reigns when he was on hiatus. Remember, they like the famous what was it when he won, beat Roman for the title many years ago, and then the Dean Ambrose cashed in. They completely forgot to tell anyone that Roman Reigns was the person he beat.
Yeah.
Do you remember that video package?
Mm-hmm. I think I do.
But I remember how much people were like, wow, the guy was only off for a couple of months and they've turned on him already. But that was last year. But yeah, so I think that was the match we were all kind of looking forward to. I was anyway. Obviously got two Money in the Bank matches that, again, leather matches are always fun. I was kind of intrigued with the Bobby Lashley stuff because obviously you got it's Kofi Kingston's first one-on-one match for the title for a while.
Yes, since his since he lost the title on the 20th anniversary of SmackDown, losing it in about 5 seconds to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, look, it still hurts to this day, gotta be honest. Would have been nice for... but then I keep saying, I would love the competitive match, but then in this show, he didn't get a competitive match either, so maybe it depends on the person, not really about if it's a competitive match or not.
Yes, we'll get into it, but it was a very pleasant surprise. Because I was expecting kind of long matches with the ladder matches, and Edge and Roman was going to go on, we would have fought for at least 25-30 minutes. And you've got another world title match. How long they're going to eke this out for? But no, it ran for about 7 minutes and very one-sided.
Yeah, but again, we'll get into that in a bit. But before we get talking about, we're quick going to kick show in a bit. But before that, obviously, if you're, as you've all know recently, we've been trying to expand ourselves into the YouTube arena. So all our reviews now are on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, Thank you for watching.
Thank
and if you could like and subscribe, that'd be really helpful. Was it? And if YouTube's not your thing, we're also on Spotify, Anchor, and iTunes. And if you're on iTunes, you want to leave a review, let us know what you think of us, then that would be awesome as well. So, yeah. So, I guess to get that out of the way, let's go quickly talk about the kickoff show. That again, kickoff match. I mean, it's a match that I probably would have put on the main show. To put this on the kickoff show is a very strange decision, I would say. What do you think?
Yes, I agree. I was actually the first time in God knows how long that I've actually got up early. I usually have my if I'm staying up to watch the show, my little tactical nap before the show happens. I usually avoid the kickoff because nothing really correlates or links in with the main show. But this was to do with the Bloodline, the Usos. Can they win the tag team gold against the Mysterios? And we got the Mysterios and the Usos, great names, good kind of family teams, good chemistry. From what we've seen already, I thought that's going to be an entertaining match. Yes, I will watch that, and I was thoroughly entertained. And that was the first match that obviously everyone saw on a pay-per-view. The first time since Elimination Chamber 2020. Oh no, WrestleMania. Yeah. Of course, the WrestleMania is gone. Of course,
we totally forgot about WrestleMania. Wow, it must be the weather, the heat, too much heat. My memory's gone. But yeah, I mean, again, it was not because I didn't want to watch this match. It's like I don't know if I'm in a routine now where I don't watch the kickoff, so I just kind of didn't.
Exactly.
But it's just one of these situations where you're thinking, okay, it's going to be a great match. You got probably you got Rey Mysterio, you've got the Usos, all great, and obviously you've got Dominic Mysterio. It's slowly getting there to become great as well. It's getting there slowly. But the only thing I saw from the end of the match is obviously they cheated to win using an interesting way to, someone called it the roll up of death on the notes I've got here. That's I like the sound of that. And using Jay used his feet to kind of leverage to kind of so they can get so basically another cheating win. There's no surprise there by the Usos. But apparently the ref was staring straight at him. So the ref actually saw it. So I don't know if the ref just didn't care or like a mistake. But I always like it when the ref can't see it. But if you can see the blatantly cheating, why did he allow it? I don't know.
It's because the referee just acknowledges Roman Reigns as the tribal chief at the head of the table. That's probably why. Well,
Heyman's quite. Heyman's probably gave a bit of a couple of like a bribe, maybe. I don't know. I'm joking. I don't know. But it wasn't. Maybe. I heard that. I was like, okay. But obviously, we're skipping over the fact that the Usos are now the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The Mysterios have had the titles for what? A month, 2?
Yeah, they won it at. What was the event? Was it Hell in the Cell? Was it Hell in the Cell? No, WrestleMania Backlash. That's the one. WrestleMania Backlash. That's when it was, rather than WrestleMania Hell in the Cell.
Thank God that never. No, don't give them ideas, man. Don't give them ideas like that.
Well, they did it. They did it. They've already had it. They've already done the idea.
I know, but does that wrestle any Hell in a Cell? No, just don't do it. But yeah, I was surprised they. I like the idea, obviously, that now the Bloodline have all got the gold. They've all got gold. Mm-hmm. So it's like and I like the thing, obviously, when we talk about the backstage segment with the whole thing with like where Roman's like, yeah, you know why you won those titles? It's because of me. You follow my lead and you acknowledge me as a tribal chief. That's why you won. And it's like I think that's where they're going. It's always nice to see that the dominant stable have all the gold. It's kind of he's been the champion since nearly a year and a bit now.
Is it SummerSlam?
Yes, nearly a year and a bit. Yeah. So it's like if you've got a faction, at some point they have to win all the gold, right? It's usually how it works.
Yeah, it has to happen at some point. Well, Roman Reigns has been champion now 323 days now.
So yeah, I know they want to beat like a length record, right, of how long someone's had the title, right? Because they love those records, don't they?
They do.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, Usos are awesome. It's good to see them get the tag titles. Would have liked the Mysterios to have them a bit longer, but if we're going to get a feud between these two for the next couple of months, I'm down for that. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, you have this match on SummerSlam on the main card. I'd be pretty happy with that. Maybe even a ladder match would be quite nice between those two.
Yeah, I mean, Oh god, that'd be so good. Yes, make that happen. Make that happen.
Or maybe kind of mini, kind of Uso penitentiary. You want to bung them in the cage. That could be interesting too. You've got the escape kind of dynamic. So say if Rey leaves the cage and now Dominic has to deal with it like, on his own. There have been, I think we've discussed it kind of earlier as well. The potential of Dominic turning on his father. Whether I think it's too early. I think at this point, but that can play a factor in because obviously Rey took the pin. There we could have some kind of complication perhaps at SummerSlam on the big stage. Like Rey is the one making the mistakes when Dominic is the one who's developing, and as a result discards his father. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that is a more interesting storyline, and then he can go against his father and then get the big win against his father that could catapult his career. So if that's how they would want to go, but if they go by that, then this is a cool idea because again, it's just they've won the titles, but they've lost them so quickly. But again, I guess it was to understand that the Uso story is probably more interesting, so stick them on them, and then they were part of the Roman storyline, and then boom, that makes them titles 100% more valuable than they would be. So, but yeah, I mean, I hope this is a series of matches. You know how much I love a big series of matches between great wrestlers.
As you mentioned numerous times, it's one thing. If it's one thing you like, it's a series or a tournament.
I do. Yes, there's two things I love in wrestling. I do. And also, but from a guy that loves tournaments, but haven't we? Please do that.
Should we get on to the main card?
Yes, we'll probably talk too much again, but this is what a podcast is for. So, so no surprise here. We kicked off with the one of the two of Money in the Bank ladder matches. They started off with the women's. That's again good choice. I mean, obviously, when it comes to that, you always got one or the other, so don't think it really matters. You got to start a show with a Money in the Bank match, right? It's kind of, and it's necessary, isn't it?
Oh, of course, and of course it gets speculation as well. So the winner of that match, especially with the women's, as we've touched on, usually goes on to cash in straight away on that same night. And you want to start with a nice fast pace. Well, we had fast paced action with the tag team match in the kickoff, but in the ladder match, everyone, that's what Money in the Bank's for. It's one of those gimmick pay per views, but it's a concept which I'm a big fan of, especially when they get the right winner. Yeah,
or someone that's either makes you like go, oh, that's interesting. I kind of like it. Kind of winner sometimes as well. That we kind of haven't got for. I don't think I've seen in a Money in the Bank match for a while, especially in the women's, especially. So obviously we had I think seven this time. Was it 6 or 7 this year?
So the competitors we had for this match, if I remember off the top of my head, you have Asuka, you have Naomi, you have Alexa Bliss, you have Nikki. Not Ash, apparently, it's Nikki ASH, which stands for almost a superhero, or my preferred abbreviation used by was it Rosie or was it Jamal? I think it was Rosie. Previously, when he was when he joined forces with Hurricane as the superhero in training.
I like that. That's so much more. That's so much more less demeaning, isn't it?
It's. But, PG era, so you can't do that stuff anymore. You can't do that SHIT anymore. You also had your tag team champions in Natalya and Tamina. Selena Vega was randomly announced to be returning, but also just randomly put into the match as well.
Yeah, didn't have to qualify at all. Just like, here you go. She can go on a match. You're like, oh, okay. But I guess with the women's division, it's not being fair, but it's quite. Is it fair to say quite bare?
I guess for contenders, yes, I'd say. And the final name, which I think everyone's favorite to win, was heavily pushed, was Liv Morgan. She rightfully beat Carmella, who initially qualified. But because of an injury to Bayley, Carmella then went up against Bianca Belair instead. So there was a spot open. It's given to Selena Vega. Liv Morgan beat Selena Vega, but still did not get the opportunity.
It still sucks about Bayley, though. To be fair, So,
It does.
but 9 months, that sucks. But wrestling, it's just sometimes you get freak accidents.
Injuries suck, yeah, especially your ACL, yeah, or speedy recovery, Bailey. Speedy recovery.
Yes, 100%. I can't wait to see you back. Hopefully 9 months. So that should be back probably start of next year.
We might even have, if you recover quick enough, surprise Royal Rumble return. You know, people have been out for just 4 or 5 months. I think Cena was a classic example. Was that his ACL?
I think so. But he came back. But he was John Cena's like freak individual.
That was when he was like Super Cena.
When we hated him, but now it's like we kind of respect him now. Anyway, but we'll get into that at the end of the night. But yeah, so going in, my pick was Alexa Bliss, just because she's the only one that seems like they've been really pushing for it, giving her all the spotlight in the women's division. But as you said, Liz Morgan was a favourite as well. I got to be honest, the other ones were kind of, it did feel like some of them were there to just make up the numbers in some ways. But one, maybe two favourite to win it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that has been the problem for not the women's fault at all, is that with WWE with their booking, especially with the Rumble matches and Money in the Bank as well, they've only really had like one story, and there's only been potentially like one person who's definitely going to win it, rather than having multiple options. So you ideally want to see that the contention for it. So if that person had the briefcase, they could do that. So that person had the briefcase, that mixes in with that. The champion's them at the time. They've got history with them, and so on and so forth. But WWE don't like to do that. They go, oh shit, we got Money in the Bank. You, and you. Do you have to qualify? Nah.
Stick you in there. It's fine.
What was it with like Vince McMahon? Because he wanted now to have matches that happened for a reason. Okay, great, perfect. That's storytelling, excellent. Rather than just random matches and rematches. But then you can just, you're just in. You don't have to qualify. It's just lazy. It's incredibly lazy.
Yeah, but it's WWE, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You're the biggest wrestling promotion in the world, so therefore you should be setting the example of the best wrestler, the best talent, the best story, the best writing. Like, how many writers do they have? They had 40 writers or whatever it was. You can't think of a story. Come on.
It's the old saying, isn't it? It's not a writer of many. It's not writing for the many. It's for writing for the one. And it's for Vince McMahon. You write for one person, then you're not gonna. Yeah, it's all about him. So, but anyway, that's kind of diverting from. Let's actually talk about this Money in the Bank match. Yeah, I mean, it was, for me, it felt like it was weird. So, one, I felt shorter than I was expecting, and also I felt it didn't have as many like kind of. I don't want to like big. Ladder match, you expect like kind of a lot of like them big kind of spots. You know, like someone landing on ladder, someone like powerbomb through a ladder, or like someone doing something really cool off a ladder or something. I don't think there was as many as I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more from this match because the last couple ones have been pretty good. So I don't know if it might be because who was involved or maybe something. It just felt like they were. I don't know. I was expecting a bit more from this match a little bit because it's a ladder match, so you expect them kind of spots. So I don't know if you felt the same. I don't know if you felt like it was. Would you think it was a good match?
There's a little bit too much heavy focus on the kind of supernatural element with Bliss, even though I think she was doing some fantastic character work. She got a big ovation to begin with. That was another odd thing to consider how the fans were going to react based on how they were portrayed at the Thunderdome. So these are the good guys, these are the bad guys, and who was popular. But you had, I think, a pretty loud ovation for Bliss, and I think as well for Nikki as well.
There's a story there.
There was a it was good to see Naomi's entrance again as well. That reaction, that was cool.
What if it's a cool entrance, and with that new Titantron, where it's just a big Titantron now, they've used that
basically WrestleMania 35,
but forever.
Yeah.
Into the end of time. It's just going to use it again. It's like just when you thought they can get creative with their stages, they've just gone, I can't be arsed now, and they're just going to have this big screen. That's cool, I guess. But if you watched our podcast the last 3 years, you know how much we missed the days when you had all the stages were unique.
Yeah, SmackDown Fist.
Yes, or like the Backlash 2000.
That's all we want. We want the SmackDown 6 and the SmackDown Fist, and then we're happy. there we are.
Yes, but like, again, I guessing with that, it's kind of that comes with creativity, and I guessing they just don't kind of have it.
No, I mean they have so many writers, like no ideas. So let's get into a couple of spots that we had in the match. Obviously, Bliss using her supernatural power, so trying to as you would do, just try to summon the briefcase down, but Asuka manages to intercept that. Bliss also manages to entice Selena Vega, doing the kind of head tilt and the following. Climbing down the ladder, and then just rushing back up to try and grab the briefcase, but was intercepted, I believe. Was it Tamina or was it Natalia with the power bomb there?
It probably was Natalia, because Natalia through a lot of this match was very they pointed out in commentary as well, kind of like she was doing a lot of the saving. She was like stopping a lot of the people from climbing the ladder. She was on the defensive, so if you're going to ask who she stopped them, it's probably Natalia.
Probably. I mean, she's got the experience and the ring smarts, being not only the rest of the most experienced, but also the most experienced in general, but also in the Money in the Bank ladder matches. I think she's had 5 appearances now.
Well, she's the most experienced, as you said, most experienced in the match. But also you got the superpower stuff again. I thought that was, especially the one with the kind of voodoo stuff. When it's used in a way like that, I think it's quite funny. But it's just, they don't use it too much. It's fine. But the best spot I think was Naomi. I think powerbomb Liv Morgan on Selena Vega on like a setup ladder. I think that was one of the best spots. I enjoyed that one. That felt like that's a Money in the Bank spot type thing. That was really cool. We've got, obviously, then it was just a proper brawl at this point, and then there was a cool thing with I put on my notes, Nikki can fly. She can fly.
It suits the gimmick, almost a superhero, but she almost didn't clear the ropes. That could have been dangerous.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, the way that ladder shaked, I was a bit like, oh god, but she can fly but crossbodying everyone, taken, must have been watching a bit of Io Shirai recently, because
that wasn't flying, that was falling with style. and not a great style.
But it may not great, but it worked. So, but she tried to fly. As I said, she's as I guess, and they just did. It kind of worked for her name, isn't it? Was it almost a superhero? So she almost flew. So I guess, and it works for her, I guess, if that's for the gimmick. But it's fine. But yeah, and obviously then we got Zeb and Talia's kind of like stopping everyone. I like the way that they made, like, they done like the spot you normally do with the bigger person in the match, like the person that's like the biggest. You would normally put all these ladders, but we done it Alexa Bliss, because give them credit, they understood that she's a threat. So I like that. Normally that would set up her coming back and winning the whole thing, but in this case, it didn't. You had some cool moments where Liv Morgan, there was a moment in the match where it felt like she could do it.
It was so awkward as well, because everyone was standing outside the ring like, oh, brilliant, Alexa Bliss is done with, but then it just stood around for ages, and they can clearly see Liv Morgan climbing the ladder, but they're not doing anything.
Because it's not a part of the plan. But I think that's sometimes in wrestling, if you spot it, it's like they do have bits where they have to wait. That's kind of off-putting when that's what they do sometimes. But she had a moment, but then after that, she didn't succeed. Then there was a lot of set up, like, was it 3 ladders? I think it was like they set up like 2 or 3. All doing the poster bit where they all climb the ladder and they all try and grab the briefcase. It seems to be the thing now. But look, apparently no one was paying attention. That you would have thought they would be when it's a ladder match. And then all of a sudden, I'm just going to say Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross climbs up the ladder. No one's looking except for Asuka, because Asuka was like, oh wait, oh god. And then, took down the briefcase. Everyone looks stunned. She runs off. She is Miss Money in the Bank. And she's, and I got to be honest, a lot of people were I would say shocked. Were they shocked? I mean, it was more of we're doing that, are we? But I just found it funny that they're just like, there's how many people on the ladder, no one could have like stopped her. They're still not paying attention.
Yeah, because usually in that kind of situation where you've got 6 on the ladder, they're all brawling, everyone manages to, they either fall off one by one, so there's 2 people, 1 person left standing, and then they eventually fall off. Everyone just falls off eventually, a big old kind of crash spot. But no, I don't think a ladder match has ever ended where multiple people are on multiple ladders. And and then someone is able to grab the briefcase. I don't think that's ever happened. I don't think I've seen that. Well, it's original, I guess.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it looks like isn't that kind of thing you would do on like the video game? Like, everyone's club out, you just like, oh, screw it. Like, you on a game, if you play it well, you could easily win a match in 10 seconds. If you just like took the guy out in 10 seconds and then just climbed the ladder and know what button to press, you could win it in 10 seconds. But maybe that's where they got it from. But yeah, it was a bit weird. But when you think of, again, it's like it was a choice. Like it's one of those choices first time I think in a long time where someone's won it. You're like, oh, that's interesting. But I like it because it's Nikki. Well, I'm calling Nikki Cross. Yeah, that's what she is. Let's be honest. But yeah, it's like she works her ass off, and I think there was a video before WrestleMania where she was like really passionate. I don't know if you ever saw it, but like she works her butt off, so I think she really deserves this. And they've got time to build her up, and obviously if Alexa Bliss is big, apparently she's got a lucky who's popular. He said, I like the idea of Alexa Bliss. Or was it? We can go really goofy and go like the evil spirit Alexa Bliss going against the heroic Nikki Cross. It'd be a bit goofy as hell, but it might work.
Then Nikki Cross actually gets superpowers,
or she snaps her friend out of it. I don't know. Or I mean, they could do that. Maybe she takes her powers away from her. Yeah. If you're gonna go there, mate, you got to go there.
Oh, I know. She takes the powers from Nikki Cross, thus becoming the Fiend, thus restoring her initial kind of lunatic, crazy character she had when she was in Insanity. There we go, fixed it, done. Because I love that Nikki Cross. Done, excellent. There we go. I've fixed it. Just like that. And you need 40 writers, WWE. Like, listen to our podcast. That is what you need.
We're just creative people, man. We're just really good at this stuff. You know, just really good. And that took you on the fly as well. It's even better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'll be like whatever happens. I mean, like that'll be a good. I would like that feud, maybe. But yeah, Nick Cross's Money Bank. It'd be great to see a cash in. As you said, it'd be nice to have it. Can you have it for a couple of months, please? Like actually have someone with a briefcase. Would be great. But yeah, it was still good though. It was still a good match. I enjoyed it at parts, but I just think either they ran out of time or they cut this match off half to give more to the main event, because it felt like all of a sudden they just thought, okay, we've got to cut this match off and got to cut this match, stop it. Okay, we'll just do this. Yeah,
it was quite an abrupt end. I'd thought if it was definitely in the Thunderdome, they would have done some spooky crap with like the ladders levitating or something, and Bliss appearing from the ladder wreckage, and then tossing ladders around. But live crowd, so you can't do that stuff. But you'd thought she would like power out of the ladders, scare the crap out of the people on the ladders. Like, what the hell? Launch ladders into the ring. That would be amazing.
I gotta be honest. I think the best thing that might for her character might be that because they want like the crowds now that they're limited what they can do. Because obviously with the Thunderdome they're limitless. They can do whatever they want. But now it's like there's a crowd. Maybe they might stop them from that. They are limited. So that's why I think those voodoo stuff I think works for me, because they're little bits in matches, and they're just little bits. But I think they're quite funny. Well, like, I actually enjoy them, but because it's limited. They only do it like a couple of seconds in a match and it's done. But yeah, so be interested to see what they do with Nikki Cross. And I've just realised that we're back to the days when we just talk about a match way too long. So I think we've got a couple of matches that I think we can breeze through quite a lot well, so we can get through it. Because obviously, I don't want to go for the days when it's 2 hour views. Them days are long gone, aren't they, Josh? They are.
Yes, much like the Thunderdome, gone. Hopefully forever.
We're going to edit this. We're going to be awesome. But anyway, so obviously after that match, we had just briefly the backstage with the Usos. Roman Reigns basically being like, Roman Reigns like, yeah, I'm really proud of you guys. The reason you won that's because of me, because you acknowledged me. I'm the tribal chief. All that kind of stuff. Basically, it's like he's really happy that his cousins have won the tag titles, basically. And they both acknowledge him as the tribal chief, and they hug, and then we go into the...
I did like, just before you get into it, I did like the referencing as well to obviously what's happened recently, incorporating that kind of that real life drama that has happened. There was speculation as to what was going to happen with with Jimmy Uso. I think this was his third time. I think his third offense of DUI, or it might be his second. I can't remember. But they actually subtly referenced it. They did a kind of show, not tell, just the kind of reaction alone from Jimmy and the kind of tone of it. That was well done. I think and it fits in well. It's like, yeah, you've overcome these kind of problems, and now look at you. You are SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, and I like the idea. It's kind of respect this as well. Like, they know that we know.
Yeah.
So you don't have to tell us about it. Like, bring it
Exactly.
reference. Like, we know. Us wrestling fans, or as marks. Let's be honest, we are.
We're smarks.
We're smarks. Best kind. But it was good. I always like their backstage segments anyway, because it's just like both the chemistry and dynamics works. So they're always interesting anyway. So, but yeah, that was good. So obviously, I said after that nice on, we go into the first the first title match of you could say the main show. Obviously, we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship defended, the Raw Tag Team Championships were defended, with AJ and Styles and Omos going against the Viking Raiders. Again, for some reason, the AJ Styles and Omos have been nowhere to be seen for a while.
No,
they want it. Again, I don't watch Raw as much. Well, barely ever. But like ever since they won the tag titles, they've kind of just been nowhere to be found. Then it's like they've been told, stay away for a couple of weeks. Then when we need you, you come back. Like when they need a story, they just come back. It's not like a reason why they're not there. They have nothing for the tag champions.
I'm not quite sure whether they just wanted to like kind of protect Omos, I guess, try to get him some more hours in, some more training before he gets more opportunities in the ring. So the Viking Raiders, we also hadn't seen for a while. They won a battle royal on Raw, and then we had a sequence of singles matches on the Go Home episode, which kind of ties in nicely. I don't think I've seen that for a while for tag teams. One-on-one matches. With Ivar beating AJ Styles and Omos defeating Eric.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it seems to be a lot of that. I think we're talking about, that was a weird rule, obviously, where was it? Didn't it, like, Xavier Woods pin the WWE champion on the same show? I don't know if it was just that was the night where it's just like people are getting surprise pins against people that normally they wouldn't win against. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it's but yeah, I always like that with tag matches when you have like single matches beforehand. It does. I mean, it's very. I would say it's not like it's an old school thing really. It's what they used to do, isn't it? With tag team matches, and they have singles matches.
Yeah, exactly. One of the classic examples, again, going back to, well, this is a different company, AEW, when you had, was it Nick Jackson and Ray Phoenix, and that was one of the best matches of the year for AEW.
That was an unbelievable match. I remember watching that. It was just like the greatest of tag team, but put them as singles. Just go 1-on-1. It's like they're still amazing, but because they're two like amazing people. So, but yeah, that was. I do like that in tag team wrestling sometimes, where singles matchups. They need to do more of that, so it feels a bit more like it just makes it more interesting. But yeah, let's kind of go. I said trying to go into the match a bit. So again, it was longer than I expected. I thought it'd be shorter than I was expecting. Apparently. Normally it'd be like, this is match to get 10 minutes, but it's got one about nearly 13 minutes. That's unusual for them. But one thing I noticed about this match, that maybe they just gave it enough time to show how good the Viking Raiders actually are. Like, because there were some moments in this match where they look really good. Like, some really cool moments.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Ivar dish out his like kind of cartwheels like beforehand. He spammed that quite a lot, but it's still very impressive. But also, Eric's strikes are brilliant. Yeah, with Ivar throwing AJ into Eric's knee, it was great angle, great sound. This is why you have the leg slap. Great reactions, yeah, lovely stuff.
It's great stuff. I mean, because the big moment of the match was kind of the bit where obviously. They didn't do like it. I thought they were gonna do like WrestleMania, where they kind of like let almost like stay away from most of the match, and AD does all the heavy lifting. But he got a lot into this match, given that, and he looked pretty decent. It looks like he is getting better. But yeah, the best bit was where I think it was he lifted AJ from over the top rope, and kind of an AJ landed and hit like a Hurricane on. Was it Eric?
Yep. It's fantastic bit of strength as well. Also, gorilla pressing Ivar as well. Very impressive.
With ease, by the way. Just point that out. With ease. We're not talking about like maybe the one with Bobby Lashley who's kind of like struggling earlier on to try and put him over. We're talking about match later, but that looked like he was struggling to do it. It's like almost like, nope. Size does not matter to me when it comes to lifting, doing press slams. He looked better in this match. You got to be honest. You can obviously see he's improving every match he's in.
Yeah, and it looks like he's enjoying himself as well. That confidence is definitely building. Although I don't think he's ever taken a bump yet. I think we've seen him go down to like a knee. Something's a little bit suspect, but no, I don't think anyone's done that. I think we are going to have an Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan kind of moment where someone's going to body slam him at some point. Surely someone's got to do it. Maybe even Riddle or the biggest RKO ever. We have to really jump up and get him. As I expect, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I expect that's going to be the match for SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. That again. I would be against that. It's one of those things that it shouldn't. The whole was it Randy Orton and Riddle thing shouldn't work, but for some reason I don't know how. I don't know how they've done it. Kind of works.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously not from seeing it before. I've seen with them obviously in the men's Money in the Bank, the way he done them RKOs and the way they reacted to it. I think people are into it. So I think it'd be interesting. I think that's the match they're going for. But yeah, maybe that's the point. Or maybe I was about to think maybe if he wasn't on SmackDown, Cesaro would be the perfect person to do it because he's the only one that I know has freakish strength that could actually do it. Yeah. But SmackDown, so I mean he could do it, but it would be kind of pointless. But yeah, again, it's just kind of the match kind of ended with kind of was it their Viking Express was it Experience finisher they do? I think lift them up and in a power bomb or something like that. But I was wondering how the hell the Omos is going to get into the ring so quickly to break up the pin because he's not exactly a really quick guy, is he? So I like the creative thing where I think he hit like pushed or kind of hit kind of. Was it Eric? I always get that wrong. Into Ivar, that was really cool. I always like that, but it's just I was thinking watching the match like, how is he going to do it? Because it's not like he's going to be running in to stop the pin, is it? He's not exactly a fast guy. But yeah, obviously the match ended with that two-handed lifting slam he does. It's very similar to the Great Khali's very one. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yes, it's kind of like a two-handed version as well of Raquel Gonzalez's kind of like choke slam power bomb thing there, but it's just a bit more stability with it when you got the two hand. But
yeah, so we got the pin against Eric. Got the pin, got the win, and there's two. Yeah, got the win, and it's two tag champions. No surprise, to be fair, but I think it was more we were intrigued about almost how he looks, and again he's getting better. And they thought with the match we were just talking about with the against Orton and Riddle, how Riddle flies across the ring, how he's going to be able to cope with that. So that'd be interesting. So, but it's one of those matches that it's not like top of my list of excitement, but I am intrigued that for anything is enough for a wrestling match, isn't it? I'm intrigued to see how it goes, but. Yeah, it was good. I think it was fine. It was better than I expected, but it was a bit longer than I expected as well. But yeah, I think it might have been a good match to put. It's a good match to put on after a Money in the Bank match. Calms everyone down. Nothing crazy is going on. And
you could argue that the SmackDown Tag Team Championship should have been on the show, and this one to the kickoff. But I guess this match wasn't going to get the crowd as pumped up as excited, I guess.
True, or maybe that's maybe that they thought, well, the Usos, maybe that was his punishments. Like, for what you did, we're going to put you on the kickoff. Yeah, you won the titles, but
so it doesn't count.
I don't know, but yeah, it's good. It's just like anything. It's like I think I also put my notes about AJ in this match. It proves that really AJ can make anyone look great. Like. Yeah. It's just because he was outstanding yet again in this match, as you expect from the Phenomenal One. So, but yeah, so I look forward to hope that the rumours of what the tag team championship match at SummerSlam. I look forward to it. It should be interesting. So after that, we get into a match that normally would annoy some people, being the WWE Championship match, is the third match on the card. But with the big matches that are happening, it's understandable. But yes, obviously it was Bobby Lashley going against Kofi Kingston. As we said, I think we said beforehand, is his first title one-on-one chance at the title since he got destroyed by Brock 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So Kofi getting a title shot is always great, but again, as I said, promo package, they've done a brilliant job of showing that. I like the story going in, as was the idea of them saying, is Bobby Lashley getting comfortable with his success?
Yeah, is MVP kind of holding him back? Pretty much not letting him fulfill his potential, just standing in the Almighty's kind of limelight and just enjoying it himself, as Kofi and Xavier Woods kind of pointed out. And in I think it was on the Go Home episode of Raw, I think that was, I haven't seen much of his TNA work or Impact work, but that was, I think, the best promo I've ever seen Bobby Lashley do. Like, no more bullshit, no more women, no more like champagne, just back to business. And I'm going to basically end Kofi's career. And there's a hell of a statement, and then he just properly backed it up with this match. But that was refreshing. That was nice to see.
I mean, to be fair, normally the wrestling kind of law dictates that when someone says you're holding me back, they usually turn on them. But I kind of like the idea that they've just said he's like, no, he's right, but he doesn't turn MVP. He goes, we've got to go back to what we were, okay? Yeah. And it's just like it felt natural, like because normally that would be a thing. It's like he'll turn up and then turn on MVP, and then it'll go it alone or something. But in this case, he didn't. I like that. Something different, because they could easily break them up. They've already tried once, so try and do it again. But yeah, I mean, again, it's the story of this match is perfect. One thing I was kind of shocked. I don't know if it's you were the same, but how one-sided this was.
Yeah, I was kind of loosely expecting a kind of little resurgence of Kofi Mania. And kind of back in mind of saying, what would happen if Kofi Kingston actually did win? Like, that would really shake up the landscape. And then imagine with Big E winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, would he cash in on Kofi? That's a potential option. But then again, there's options all round now. And we'll get into that a bit later on. But this was the kind of squash match, was similar to Brock Lesnar and John Cena at SummerSlam. Just complete domination. I've maybe even expected perhaps like a Daniel Bryan kind of resurgence where Kofi has to use underhanded tactics, kind of like that low blow, like kind of Trouble in Paradise, the kind of big moves to take down the monster, as Daniel Bryan did against Brock at Survivor Series. But no, with brutal moments where, a fireman's carry, head first into the ring post, twice, like hurt locks. The first one, Kofi didn't tap out, but he's basically passing out, and just tosses him aside. Vicious ground and pound, that MMA background that Bobby Lashley has, using two dominators. The dominator's a good finishing move as well. Finally locking in that hurt lock, and Kofi is just limp. He's effectively dead. If the Simpsons stop, he's already dead. That kind of thing. And the referee took an absolute age, to notice that Kofi had passed out. If this was a sporting contest like UFC or MMA fight, whatever it was, there'd be backlash going, why the hell didn't he stop the match?
It's just like stop it, man. As you said, he's done. Stop the match. Mm-hmm. But but again, this is weird because it's like you can look at it in one or two ways with this match. It's like, one, they've done the exact same thing to, like, if this was somebody else and done this to Kofi, we'd be pissed, wouldn't we? Yep. But because it's Bobby Lashley and we like what they're doing with Bobby Lashley, I'm okay with it because it's like, as I said in my notes, it's Brock Lesnar-ish, very Brock Lesnar. That maybe that's a tease for the SummerSlam match that we might begin, that we hope is happening.
Yeah, potentially. And Bobby Lashley now, it's kind of been like the two button pushes, the big kind of pushes for Lashley, that really committing to his almighty gimmick. The first one being at WrestleMania, where we all expected due to have a big old hoss battle with Bobby Lashley rather than The Miz. No disrespect to The Miz. But you thought, okay, that's going to be the opening match. Drew's going to win. Nice big ovation. Wonderful way to start the show. And Drew McIntyre gets his moment that he didn't really get to have last year because of the pandemic. But Bobby Lashley won in the same move, that hurt lock. Drew McIntyre passed out. Big shock to everyone. But it was a welcome one again. Okay, they're really pushing forward with Lashley. I mean, it's the second stint he's had in the company. And he has been wrestling for, 16 years? And it's the first WWE title reign he's ever had. And they're really, really committed to it. They're really going for it now. Especially with this Kofi one. You didn't expect him to win against... you didn't expect him to lose against Kofi, but you expect some kind of back and forth, yeah. But that kind of dominance is like, yeah, really pushed the buzz. Okay, yeah, we're committing to this dominating Bobby Lashley. Yeah, MVP basically being his Paul Heyman. Will we get Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? We know Brock Lesnar has been busy being a butcher, I think.
So Brock Lesnar. So what he does. It's like... But I've heard some other rumours that I know might be displeased about. Is that the rumours have gone around that it might not be Brock Lesnar he's going against.
Oh.
It might be Goldberg.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people... I watched a video from a guy about it. It's like, he's 100% right. I don't want a match between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. It won't be a good match. No. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Yes, please, take my money now. But, why is it they keep putting Goldberg in these matches? I get it if they can't get Brock, but, just chuck some... You're a $1 billion company. Just chuck as much money at him. He'll turn up. Yeah. But I hope them rumours are not true, because, let's be honest, I think Bobby Lashley deserves to have a match against Brock Lesnar, and I think he should beat Brock Lesnar. Yeah,
or there's the cash-in. Because then you can protect kind of both guys, sort of. If Brock doesn't want to take the win, because he's Brock Lesnar, he just does what he wants. And Bobby Lashley has taken the pin from Kofi, from Xavier recently, so it wouldn't hurt him too much, especially if both those guys have just been beating the crap out of each other. Proper hoss fight, spears, German suplexes, F5s, dominators. Will Brock Lesnar break the hurt lock? That's got a big fight feel to it. They'd be absolutely knackered.
Doesn't that feel like a match you would want to see?
I'd like to see it now. Yeah, I wouldn't like to see Brock Lesnar walk away with the title, because we've been there, done that, and it's the same old cycle. I just
think it's like, Brock. I think Brock, if you give enough money and you explain it to him, Brock will probably take the. He said someone said rightly, he let Seth Rollins beat him twice. So. Yeah. Given the right story, I think Brock will be up for it. So I hope they're going for the Brock match. But I got to be honest, I really hope these rumours are just rumours, and this doesn't be true, because I don't want to see that match. I don't think anyone does. Not if it's Goldberg, but no one wants to see Goldberg in a match anymore. I don't. No, because he's just scared of people's health. Yeah. But
he's gonna kill himself, or he's gonna kill someone else eventually.
Yeah, it's not healthy. So I hope that's not true. But yeah. But let's hope we get the Brock match. But one thing before we go into, I think, the final 3 matches of the pay-per-view, let's quickly get a word from our sponsor, and we'll be back. When we come back, we'll be talking about the Raw Women's Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. So, back in a bit.
Today's episode is brought to you by Omio. Omio is a travel booking platform that makes planning a journey in Europe and North America effortless. Just enter your travel details and Omio will magically give you all the train, bus, flight and ferry options for your journey. It's never been simpler to book your first vacation for 2021. Best of all, using Omio saves you time and money. That's a win-win in our books. Omio wants you to help leave your house this summer by offering 5% off your next booking. Just head to omio.com and use the code OMIO5 at the checkout. Valid until July 31st for new users of all modes of transport. It's just to pick me up your 2021 needs. Omio. Plan, book, and love the journey. Terms and conditions apply.
So yeah, we're back. Yes, for our sponsor, if you want a link, that'll be in the description below if you want to take advantage of that offer. So yeah, check out our description for that. So let's go back and talk about the rest of Money in the Bank 2021. Obviously, before the break, we talked about The match with the next match will be the WWE Raw Women's Championship match between the champion Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, and I think it's their third match they've had in series of pay-per-views, if I'm correct.
And I think they've had like one-on-one matches as well on Raw. So yeah, this has been going on for quite a significant amount of time. So it is quite understandable based on the kind of the stale nature, I guess, of the feud now, or coming towards the end of it, as well as WWE hinting of a big surprise coming, which happened at the end of the show. But there were rumors that a certain former Raw Women's Champion was backstage. Was in the area. The crowd started chanting, "We want Becky," very, very loudly throughout the first 5-10 minutes of the match, I think. Which you kind of get the idea that the crowd, not really into this match. So in response, Charlotte Flair decided to flip off the audience, which WWE tried to black out. I guess kind of disguise it with the Peacock issues. Yeah, apparently Peacock was running very badly in the States.
Well, the benefits of still having the network and not being in the UK, eh? The benefits.
There we are.
For once, American wrestling show, we have the advantage. That's a nice change, isn't it? It's one of those moments where Charlotte Flair's flipping off the audience. You clearly get the sound, so something has clearly happened. What was it? And you just see the last bit of Charlotte Flair flipping the crowd off and putting her hand down. Okay, she flipped off the audience. It kind of reminded me of the moment of a clip I saw the other day with classic Eddie Guerrero and his cheating. And on one occasion, it completely backfired. He was in a tag team match, teaming with Booker T, going against Rey Mysterio and RVD. Referee was down, threw the title in to make it look like Rey Mysterio hit him with the title, laying down the canvas as the referee was talking to Rey. Eddie Guerrero was just sitting up occasionally, smiling, laughing, taunting, lying back down before the referee could turn and see. Then on one occasion, the referee just managed to turn around and see Eddie Guerrero was absolutely fine. Got caught out and then lay back down. Classic Eddie Guerrero. I love those ones. But well, at least with that, they've done it for a show. This one, they done it because they heard something bad they didn't want us to hear. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know it was actually like them attempt to try and cut it. I just thought it literally because you've heard of the problems with Peacock before, so I thought it was an actual thing. So didn't know it was actually their attempt to censor us. But that's a WWE move, so it's what they would do.
It's going to get out there eventually. People have their cell phones.
It did because
people tweet.
It did because the only reason I knew about it before was the show is because it was all over Facebook and Twitter. So nice try, but it didn't work. We all knew. We knew. Come on. All we need is a couple of seconds on the internet to show something, and someone's either took a screenshot or saved it. You're screwed. So, but to this match in general, though, it's like, to be fair though, they did talk about we want Becky, but then because the match gradually got better and better, they kind of, like most good things like that, they kind of forgot about it and enjoyed the match.
Yeah, they really won the crowd over. It's a thoroughly entertaining contest as it went on, as you said.
Rhea Ripley was, I think could it be fair to say her best match so far since the main roster? Like in the main roster, like kind of because he's had.
Yeah,
I think from when I was thinking, watch this match, I think because they've fighting, they've been going against each other so many times, it feels like they've got this good chemistry going on. That's like it works. Like they're finally figuring each other out. That I think that Rhea Ripley hasn't really had with anybody else yet when she's been called up. Because there were moments where it's like they're probably like countering over countering and stuff, and it looked really fluent, if that's the word. It just looks. I think it looks like it. Sometimes we all talk about going against each other multiple times. Sometimes is bad. So I think in this case it was a good thing that they've been facing each other for like what 2-3 months now, 2 months.
Yeah, and
I think it's benefited the in-wing, their in-wing work. I think because there were moments when they looked quite good.
They did. We had moments of where they were countering each other's offense, which ran smoothly. Like heavy strikes of body blows, elbows. We had a sequence of chops. Really working stiff, which was entertaining. We had innovated offense as well as signature spots. So Charlotte Flair doing her moonsault from the top turnbuckle to the outside, for example, as one of those signatures. But the innovated offense, so the like of the powerbomb kind of setup with that Rhea Ripley had Charlotte in, grabbing Charlotte's arms in between her own legs, lifting up into like the powerbomb, then into an elevated like suplex and sustaining that, very similar to what Bobby Lashley used to do, and kind of like deadlift Charlotte Flair up into the air with landing that suplex was very lovely. Very lovely.
I do like the struggle though. I do like the way that she was struggling. It's like really struggling to get that. I called it a power suplex because at least you have the power over. But yeah, I mean, I on my notes I couldn't get because there's so many. It was a sequence after a sequence after a sequence. Like I can't remember all this. There's so many good stuff in there. But yeah, obviously we got what was it? A cool counter into obviously the natural selection. I think it was like she's trying Rhea Ripley countered natural selection into like I don't know what that's. I always get that submission move she does where she crosses the legs and she kind of holds them up.
It's like a clover leaf sort of. I can't remember what it's called. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean the best kind of one that everyone's going to remember is probably the bit where we got was it a supernatural selection or just a top rope natural selection.
Mm-hmm.
You thought she could have ended the match there, to be fair, because that is a kind of like a match ender. But
yeah,
obviously she kicked just kicked out of it, like literally just about put her shoulder up for that one. But yeah, we had Charlotte Flair countering the. I think he was trying to go for the whip tie, but she countered into a DDT. Almost got a near fall there. Top rope natural selection, we said. Refs are getting clever. That I like that they're finally starting to look at these cheating heels when they're pinning, because once again she tried to put her feet on the top of the rope to try and get leverage, but the ref was actually quite clocked on. That's actually more refs needs to be like that when it's cheating. Doesn't work as much these days, but that was a nice thing. But yeah, I mean obviously the finish of the match was good, where it's the bit when I think it was on the outside. I think it was attack Charlotte. Was on the apron, I think it was, and then obviously Rhea Ripley went on to check her. That was a bad idea, and someone said we are talking about she is a Flair, so she's going to cheat. So she slammed her head into the ring post or the plastic around the ring post, and then as I said, trapped her leg in between the steel steps, and then time after like 3 or 4 times kicking the steps like to injure her leg that she has been working on. You could say for like a couple of months.
Yet back in was it Hell in a Cell or WrestleMania Backlash, Rhea Ripley just threw the announce table lid at Charlotte and got disqualified. Yet you can jam your opponent's legs into the steps using it as a weapon and try and break their leg. That's perfectly illegal.
I guess she didn't throw the object at her, so I guess it's just like, it's just an accident. I don't know.
I accidentally put my opponent's leg in between.
I don't know. Wrestling logic. There's no logic in it. It's like we all know why they did it last month. It just, as you said before we recorded, it makes it even more frustrating with that finish now, because it's like they could have done that, and it would have been probably better disqualification type thing, and then it might have led into the end of this match. Maybe Rhea Ripley did that to her, so maybe the end of this match she did it. That's why she did it to her in this, maybe. But they did do that. But it's fine, because again it set up the injured leg anyway that kind of been working on for a while. Locked in the figure 8. She tried to not tap, but it's she tapped out, and Charlotte is the new Raw Women's Champion, and was it 6th time? Was it like Raw Champion now? I think that's 6th time she's won it.
I'm not quite sure. She's won it, multiple world titles now. How many is it? It's in double figures.
It's 12. Sure. It's 11 or 12, but again, it's top of my head, but I don't know. But yeah, so, but the funny thing about this doesn't. Normally, you'd be like, "Oh, Charlotte's won the title again," but it doesn't feel. I'm okay with it. Is it just me? It's like I think it's because I think this match proved that how good Charlotte really is. Like we all forget, like we it's the same. It's the Roman situation. It's like we're never against your ability in the ring. It's just your character that we're against.
I don't think with character with Charlotte Flair, because I think character-wise, like performance-wise, like she's one of the best in the company next to Asuka and Becky and Bayley and Sasha, obviously. But it's just the nepotism aspect. Is you're connected to a Flair, therefore you get this. That's the annoying part. And I guess it's similar to Roman, where it's the Cena kind of treatment and the connection to The Rock as well. That bloodline, I guess, which is the annoying part, rather than their actual in-ring ability and their character. It's that connection and that affiliation. So you're affiliated to this person, therefore you get this amount of opportunities compared to this person.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they do like that. Again, that could be great. You could use that in a story, but I think it's because again the women's division in general is quite bare on Raw and the SmackDown side. That they put her in their opportunities where she always gets a shot at the title. So that's why people find it a bit like rubs them the wrong way. So, but I guess it just I think for most of us we just don't we're like when they didn't put Roman in the title scene for like nearly a year because it's like can he do something else than being in a title match every month? Can we try something different? But again, I'm not against her being the champion here because again they've had a good series of matches and the way it was going, she was going to lose the title. She was going to win the title anyway because obviously Rhea Ripley got her kind of win last pay-per-view, so she had to win it eventually, right? It's kind of where the story was going.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure whereabouts or what exactly they're going to do for SummerSlam. What the plan is for Charlotte, if they're going to have like another surprise appearance. So you had Trish Stratus that 2 years ago against Charlotte. If they're going to try something like that, or if they try to, I don't know, actually push Shayna Baszler. But probably the safest bet is because it might be like another match with Asuka or a triple threat again. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. Again, it's not the lack of competitors. It's the lack of what's the word I'm looking for? Contenders. I guess like credible contenders for the championship. Apart from Asuka and maybe Alexa Bliss, there's not really anyone on the Raw roster. Yeah,
well, it's Charlotte. That is basically what they're going to have at SummerSlam, right? I mean, to be fair, if I was going to bet, they're probably going to put her against Becky if she's coming back.
Yep. There we go. That would be perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I mean, again, it's been a while. She'll be the big, get the big pop. I don't know who I should go for. I mean, I was thinking she should go against Bianca Belair, but I don't know what they're doing her, so maybe we might go that way. But I think the Charlotte one's the perfect return match for her because they both know each other very well, and they always put on great matches. So I think that's why they might go if Becky's coming back. You know her Twitter game's on point, so maybe she's teasing the crap out of us with like, oh, I was in the area, or she, you know how good her Twitter game is.
Well, she's getting back into ring shape, so obviously like healthy lifestyle, yeah, for sure. But you wouldn't be working out at that hard, surely, if you had no intention of going back to the ring or it's like open to the idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. But again, that's the only thing I think because they're really stacking SummerSlam up quite nicely for a lot of big matches. So that would be for the women's division, like Raw anyway. Like that's a huge match. So please they're gonna bring Becky back. I think it's the perfect one to do. So I'll go for that. But it's the only one I can think of at the moment. What they could do. But yeah, I mean, really good. But this match, with Ripley's looking great. I think she's really starting to, gradually get into the role that she's doing. And this is again best match, and it was very enjoyable, very good match. Enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, especially winning the crowd back. Very nicely done.
So now we've got also down to the final two. You could say the kind of you got to, obviously we know what the main event's going to be. Everyone knew what the main event was going to be. Let's be honest. Roman's always the main event. So, but when it comes to, it's only one match left. So obviously the next match was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. But one thing I will point out that was kind of funny is the bit beforehand when Kevin Owens came in before. When you've got that really goofy thing where you've got Riddle asking that Rick guy that plays guitar.
Rick
Yes,
Boogs.
strange name. Yeah, trying to play Randy Orton's theme. And then they're all like dancing and having like, all that stuff. And he's just got Kevin Owens walking past. That I got to be honest, I can imagine myself and you doing the same, walking past, going, like nodding your head, like, I work for this company. Yeah. I work at this place.
As they're doing the theme as well, Nakamura's doing the Randy Orton pose, and apparently, from according to Riddle, that Randy despises pants. Okay,
that's got to be. Are he that close now? Are he that close that he revealed that?
Yo, Randy, I can see your Viper.
What? What?
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Josh. Thanks for.
Probably.
Oh no, but to be fair, just.
Well, if Randy despises pants, it's very likely.
But to be fair, we look about it. No, we're not talking about this. We're talking about the wrestling. This is serious stuff. But yeah, that was weird. But I can understand why KO was like, "What the hell is this? Like, what's going on?" But yeah, so obviously KO was the first to come out, but he is one of many, in a very very stacked card, very good, well-known names in this Money in the Bank this year. We actually got Ricochet's in it. Perfect really? Candidate for a match like this, especially when his whole storyline has been he can jump, he can springboard onto John Morrison and get disqualified for most of the week. I think that's what his story was, but it's good to see him on TV, so good for him. John Morrison, again, perfect candidate. Riddle.
Johnny Drip.
I want to talk about that bit with Seth Rollins arguing early on. That's actually quite funny when you figure out what they're actually arguing about. But got Drew McIntyre, obviously, kind of is my pick, and a lot of people's picks, and kind of his last chance, because obviously you can't challenge for the title as long as Bobby Lashley's champion, so it's kind of his last chance to get any shot at the title. Seth Rollins, Big E, there's a KO, and Shinsuke Nakamura, or King Nakamura if you want to be specific. He's Kingsuke
Nakamura.
That actually sounds so much better. I like that. That's actually really good. But
Nakamura.
Yeah, again, it was it was one of those matches again. I was going in thinking Drew, because I think, well, I don't know. It's just the only one that I could feel that they probably looks like they're doing something. They could do the cash in would make sense for for the Bobby Lashley. But again, I get that it probably wouldn't be the greatest idea in the world, because obviously it would just negate their own stipulation they did a month ago. If you're going to do it, commit to it. So out of all them, I think obviously, Seth maybe would be a favourite, maybe.
Either Seth, or because of the history that he has with Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. Because how many times did he get screwed out of the title, and then Daniel Bryan, it happened to him, but Daniel Bryan was included in the WrestleMania match, whereas Owens didn't really get any other opportunity after being screwed countless times.
And he seems to be okay with it.
I don't think he is. I think he did mention that that's my intention. I'm coming for Roman, and Seth Rollins pointed out as well. Like, I'm next. I'm next line for the championship opportunity.
Yeah. So I mean, I think in some sense it was like there were like a couple of contenders, but I think there was a bit more than obviously the women's. I think, but
yes.
Again, a lot of these people in this match, you can do so kind of crazy stuff. You got Ricochet's in there, John Morrison. They're kind of like the unorthodox kind of high flyers. They do strange things in the air. You've got obviously Riddle's Riddle. Drew's is better than it's a match that you could do well in. Seth's, you might not like his character and you might not like the guy, but his in-ring ability is very good. KO's KO, and then Nakamura. So all of them really good. So I think it might have been in this match. It was a situation of, I don't think whoever they picked, I think we would have been okay with. I think I would have been anyway.
Yeah, so long as it was I think Seth Rollins has had it before, so I'd rather see a fresh face. Apart from that, I wouldn't want to see Johnny Drip as the champion, because we've been there and done that with like him being affiliated with Miz when he had the Money in the Bank contract. So we'd like to see someone who they see as a potential world champion.
Oh, 100%. It makes me think that why did I pick it in the first place, to be fair? Because it's like, but I think it's because of the Drew situation. We're all thinking that's where they were going, but yeah, good choice. Very good choice. It's first time, like, I like when they do that, when they actually decided to use the Money in the Bank briefcase to actually maybe elevate someone instead of just doing it for a quick shock shock moment that I sometimes think they definitely did last year. Let's be honest, they definitely did last year. It's more of a surprise, but then when you think about it, it's not a good idea. But so obviously the start of the match was very like everyone just fighting over each other, just like no messing around here, everyone just fighting. The bit with the funny thing is with Rollins and John Morrison, apparently this is from what I heard, is arguing over who is the true drip master. That's what they were asking. That's what they were arguing on the apron.
Oh no! They're also talking about their hair as well. Like, what is it in your hair? But who's the real drip master?
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Might be wrong. But basically, it wasn't a serious conversation. It was a ridiculously unnecessary conversation.
It was unnecessary. But then they had, I guess, if they're both the drip masters, I guess they're connected in a way because they teamed up for this match.
Gotta be honest though, am I the only one that kind of watching the team together that I actually wouldn't be against them being a tag team?
I would be open to that potentially.
Well, they're quite similar people in their style in some ways, a little bit. So it could. I don't know. It's just I was watching it and I was just like, actually, there would be kind of a good, tag team, or like put them together. Wouldn't it be the worst idea? But it won't happen. But it's an idea. But obviously they teamed up early on. We had was it Rhea? We had Ricochet doing as always that. How he gets that high, I'll never know. With those dives outside the ring, Ricochet's always Ricochet. You got Matt Riddle doing one outside. I think it's like flat. Was it? Just like a spinning flip from the outside as well. They get their moments. We had a cool thing where we got Drew McIntyre and Big E kind of facing off against each other, but then. Everybody else in the ring didn't realise or didn't have no respect that we wanted to see them fight, but everyone kept one by one coming in the ring, like wanted to stop it. It was like, no, we want to see Drew McIntyre and Big E face off because that actually would be a really good match, and I would enjoy that as much. So yes, and he did fight off. The big kind of spot we had with Nakamura doing like a reverse exploder suplex on KO onto the ladder looked really awesome. Oof. You had. Obviously, still got Seth Rollins and John Morrison teaming up. They put a bridge between the apron and the announce table. There's only one. You know how that's going to end, don't you?
Yep, someone's going through that.
Oh, and they did. We got, was it KO down like a springboard? Was it a springboard moonsault? Was it?
It was like a lion salt. Yeah, lion salt.
He didn't get all of it though, because there was moments. But as KO, you're not surprised that he can do stuff like that. He got suplexed on the side of a ladder for his troubles. That's gotta hurt. And then we just had a situation where obviously Drew was in control at one point. John Morrison was doing his really cool parkour kind of skills, as you expect. It's kind of a ladder match is kind of his domain, isn't it?
Yeah, he did the Starship Pain and missed, or was very Is that? Oh, he didn't get all of it. He didn't get any of it at all.
As we know from commentary, when someone messes up, that's what they say. They didn't get all of it, or like they make up some excuse, like they got out of the way. But yeah, he didn't get all of it. But obviously, eventually, with any alliance in a ladder match, you knew eventually that someone was going to turn on someone. And sorry, John, but it was you got turned on by Seth Rollins. So they start fighting. We got Ark. I think Matt Riddle was, as you're talking about, start of the review. So many RKOs. I think he got 3, one off the top of the ladder, off the ladder, and I think he done one off to Seth Rollins. That was really awesome. We had I think Nakamura and Riddle fighting, and I said in my notes that it was really cool because I really like that kind of stuff.
Exchanging strikes. Yep. That's a match I quite like to see as well.
That's what I like about this ladder match. There's so many matches that, like, in between I actually would like to see. But then after this, Drew basically just completely dominated. And then he hit 2 double Claymore hits to Nakamura and Riddle. Then he hit a Future Shock DDT on Big E. Then he put a really nasty spot that wouldn't be nice. A reverse Alabama slam onto a ladder on Ricochet. Like, literally face first. Ouch. I don't care what. Like, I understand Alabama Slammer, the original, goes on your back, but the reverse one, going into a ladder, face first. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. Drew went to the air. He done as you would expect, go and jump to the outside. Then he another Claymore, and then you thought, okay, looks like this is where it's going to go. Drew's just got to climb up the ladder. He's taking out everyone. He was in total control. And then maybe it's just because I don't know this feud is happening. Jinder Mahal turns up with his goons. I think is his goons. He's got goons now.
Yeah, he's got his goons. They were the tag team in NXT. I think one was called Shanky. I can't remember what the other one's called though. But I think so. But Jinder Mahal stole McIntyre's Claymore, destroyed it, but then Drew McIntyre then retaliates, going, "That wasn't my real sword. You'd have to be an idiot to bring your real sword. This is the real one. Oh, what's this? Oh, this appears to be your motorbike." And destroys Jinder Mahal's motorbike, kind of Attitude Era style. Just destroying vehicles as someone stands in the ring, being very, very angry.
Like shocked and like, why are they not running out to stop it? Type situation.
Yeah, just watching it happen. Just run out and stop them.
You gotta love wrestling, like the old imaginary force field that we always joke. Like they can't go because there's actually a force field stopping them. But so they got involved, beat the crap out of him, dragged him back to the back. So he was basically out of the match. So it looks like they're having we are getting that, was it 3-man band kind of feud after all. And it's probably going to happen at SummerSlam. It's great, I guess, but you would have thought Drew would get a bigger kind of opponent at the second biggest show, possibly, by opinion, of the year. So Drew's out. But when they done that, we did get, after that we got a moment that, as if you're a fan of NXT, we've seen before by Ricochet. With I don't know how to describe it. Like I think he's basically like he's on the ladder. Someone pushed him. He lands on the top on the spring. What was it? Onto the top rope, and then just done a flip on the outside. But it's like if you haven't watched NXT, this is an amazing spot. But because we've watched that North American title match, ladder match, many times, it's a spot we've seen before. But it doesn't take away how amazing that spot is.
He really is a one and only. He's absolutely incredible. I'd love to see Ricochet versus Rey Fenix. The amount of things that they could do. I think they already faced each other when they were in Lucha Underground, I think. But I'd love to see that match.
I mean, it's a match we want to see again. I mean, they're both sim. Oh, come on, what, mate? You've got a guy like Ricochet in your company, and you can't find anything to do with him. You're insane. But anyway, it's not. But yes, they had that cool moment. Even I love the way that Matt Riddle was just looking at himself like, "Oh my god, that was really awesome." He's kind of like he's reacting like the fans are right now. The holy shit, like, "Oh my god, that was awesome." But
that was cool.
But yeah, I mean, he was in the action. More RKOs. They had this like really as you expect him out of the it's like segment after segment, where it's just like, or like moment after moment, where it's like Matt Riddle done an RKO, then Seth Rollins done a stomp on Matt Riddle, and then I think did Nakamura do a go to sleep?
It was a Kinshasa.
Well, I think
wasn't it?
Was it
Kinshasa?
I'm sure it was a go to sleep, but maybe I think I just missed it, turned away for a second. But yeah, he obviously took out Seth, and then obviously later on in the match we had a situation with John Morrison got used that stupid water bottle thing, that spray, the
drip stick.
I'm not calling that; it's a water spray. Okay, it's weird. But yeah, the silliness of that on Nakamura went on top. But then it didn't. You would have thought we might have won. Didn't work. And then you've got KO. Then the KO came back. He two stunners on Morrison and Nakamura. Pop-up powerbomb on Ricochet. Then Seth Rollins, as we talked about earlier, that ladder was set up for a reason. That was bridged earlier. And unfortunately for KO, he was the one that got pooed through it. And it broke beautifully in two. With a nice power. Was it Seth Rollins powerbomb from to the outside through that ladder. So KO was out. So
KO was KO'd.
If it was like them old fighter games, it'd be like the big KO would come across the screen because he was out. But you knew someone had to go for it. But again, the kind of match ended with Seth Rollins looks like he's taken it out the competition, climbing up the ladder. Looks like he was going to win. And all of a sudden, Big E comes out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, climbs up there was two ladders at this point, climbs up simultaneously. We all knew when the way it was set up that eventually Big E was going to hit that big ending from the top of the ladder, and indeed he did. Climbed up, no one there to stop him, and said Big E is Mr. Money in the Bank, and said
Congratulations.
Great choice. I mean, I think it's got everything the Money in the Bank should be, in potential. Got a good. It's got a situation. If you work a bit more, it is definitely a credible world champion. Everyone likes him. He's a very likable character, and hopefully, they might think that maybe actually try and do something with the Money in the Bank briefcase this year, and then just forget about them, and then when it's time to cash in, all of a sudden they just cash in. You know, I hope he gets some good story development, because I think Big E deserves it. He's kind of been a bit lost ever since he lost his Intercontinental title a little bit, hasn't he?
He has, and he didn't. He was quite quiet in this match, apart from the beginning with his segment with Drew and the signature diving spear to the outside.
It looked awkward, by the way.
It always does. It always looks like he's going to smash his face into the barricade or to the floor again. It's like, he was a little bit quiet, but right winner of many. There are a couple of right winners you could have had. There's a lot of scope. Does it tie in with the Bobby Lashley Kofi Kingston storyline when that squash match? Does it do it to get revenge and reform the New Day? Because he could basically go after anyone. He could go after the NXT champion, go after Karrion Kross if he wants to, or go after Roman Reigns. But it had to be the most opportune moment, because Reigns is surrounded by his by the bloodline, by his cousins.
But to be fair, it's like, could it be setting up that he cashes it, like either it's a situation of Cena wins it and he cashes it on him, or Roman Reigns just wins it, but it was a grueling battle, and when he's weakened, Big E cashes in and he takes the Universe title. I think that's what more logical way to go for it. And also, everyone looks great. Big E looks like he's smart. Like, I took the opportunity as he should. And Roman Reigns would be like, deflated, because obviously a huge big match against John Cena. Again, it's no spoilers. If you're listening to this review, you know he's back, so we don't need to go by that stuff, do we? So, but yeah, so I think that's where they're going. But again, or they could drag it out and maybe do. I don't know if they've done it recently, but I wish they'd done the Money in the Bank like they did with New Japan with the United States briefcase because of the pandemic. I know that's probably common, but it's like, I would like to see that more. Like, make it act like a title. You know, you actually have to defend it every week, like every pay-per-view.
Yeah, if someone beats you in a singles match and the briefcase is not on the line, yeah, sure.
I mean, I just think it'll make the briefcase like as important as a major title, and obviously it makes for God's sake, it makes the person having it actually do something. You know, just something to do, because obviously we've had many people over the years that have had this briefcase, and it's just it's just a name until they realise how he's going to cash in, and they just do it instead of making it a story. I hope they do with Big E, because there's so much potential there.
There is a lot of potential, and I'm glad both of the briefcases now, or should both be involved in storylines now,
and two good choices as well. I think. Like the Nikki one was surprise, but it wasn't like oh my god, what are you doing surprise. It was more, yeah, cool. They're gonna finally do something with Nikki Cross. About time. Let's be honest. So so Big E's won. That's good. So I'm intrigued to see. I still think he's cashing in at SummerSlam. With against the last match of the main event of the evening. Obviously, let's go. You know, talking a lot now, so I think we've got to dive into the main event. Obviously, it's the one that's all the posters. It's the match that no offense to Daniel Bryan, should have got at WrestleMania. Should have been the main event. Obviously, we're talking about the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Edge. I mean, it was one of these matches. It needed to happen, and it had the story they were doing, minus that they for some reason forgot that Daniel Bryan even exists at all, apparently.
Or didn't acknowledge him, rather.
That was nicely played there. But when maybe he comes back saying he should be acknowledged, but it's not important. But it's really weird with that. Like, the guy didn't do anything wrong, but they kind of like, all he did is leave, and then they just say they rewrite history. But it's not important to this story. But yeah, so basically he came back saying, you know, you stole my destiny. Basically, you stopped my destiny. I was supposed to win. Supposed to be this all set up for this beautiful moment, and then you beat me.
Yeah, 10 years to the day.
So like you stopped it, but and he came back, and it's like it proves that if they actually tried on the WrestleMania thing, they probably didn't need Daniel Bryan to be in the story in the first place, because the build up to this has been really good. I just wish they would have thought of this at WrestleMania, and then we could have had this match then.
Yeah, or just a rematch for us. I wouldn't mind having this was at WrestleMania and then just doing it again. Like might have happened probably at SummerSlam if they did the rematch. The story worked. It had to be 10 years to the day at WrestleMania where Edge retired and had to relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship. Him winning, lovely story. That would have been great. That didn't happen. So Edge did what he had to do. He took the time off. He looked at the tapes, tried to find a chink in Roman Reigns' armor, and that chink was the crossface with the piece of steel chair. You can see the fear in Roman Reigns' eyes. And a nice retort from Roman saying, yeah, I may have been scared for like 1 second, but what did I do with that fear? I kept on fighting, and what did I do? I smashed them, stacked them, pinned them.
That's a good t-shirt. I might actually get that t-shirt. That's actually really good. That's a really good clip. I like that. But yeah, I like it when heels do that. It's like, normally people are like, no, I wasn't fair. It's like, yeah, for a second I was, but I still beat you. So what's your problem? It's like, it's pretty much what one was like when it's like, yeah, I might have been scared for a little bit, but yeah, I beat you, and I've done it. I humiliated you on the grandest stage in the mall. But yeah, it was just one of these matches that just really. Again, it's like Edge looked great, building up to this. He's got that intensity that he just I've really been enjoying since he's come back. And again, we kind of knew Roman was going to win, right? A lot of people didn't expect Edge to win it.
There's a what if he did, but it's unlikely.
It would have been it would have been a good. No one would be against it if they did pull the trigger on it.
No,
but again, it's a good choice. I think to not do it, but I think gotta be honest. Was this match a little bit longer than it should be?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it did drag slightly. The pace was fairly slow, as it was kind of at the beginning. If you are doing those longer matches, Edge starting off with having the upper hand. Roman Reigns having to go outside the ring, consult with Heyman. Heyman telling him just think of what your father would do, and then from there, using Samoan drop on the outside to Edge.
And then he could just control the most, but like 2/3 of the match really at this point, when it's really slow. I think it was like, didn't he have like the headlock of doom for like so long?
Headlock doom for quite a while, and the crowd trying to encourage Edge. And he's going, Roman's going, don't clap, and what they do? They clap, and everyone knows if you clap, you're spurring on the babyface, and the babyface is able to get out of the headlock of doom.
Good old-fashioned reverse psychology. Always works. But yeah, obviously. But I like at this point, like every time you thought Edge was going to get back into it, like, oh, Edge has got his momentum back. Boom. Roman's like, no, this is not how this story goes. They keep taking him out. We did have this bit with, I think it was like Edge kind of countered a Superman punch into. Is it? I always forget what that pin is. Like I always say, it's a backslide. I always say schoolboy, but it's a backslide. Yeah, but backslide for near fall. Then it's just like back and forth. Then we got Edge doing his signature kind of sit out neck break. That neck breaker. I think I don't know what it is. Like sit down. Like I never know what it's called, but we know what it is. Got that. Yeah. Edge starting to get back into the match, really feeling the energy of the crowd here. Then he hit like a flapjack, and then go into that execution DDT execution that I still think should be his finisher personally, because it's a cooler move. So at this point, Edge looks like he was getting momentum. He's going to go on and do it. But we did have this thing. I think it was on the turnbuckle. I think it was at the top of it was at top rope, and I think Edge slammed Reigns' face onto the ring post or the plastic around it. Seems to be the thing recently. Seems to be that's what people do during the show. But that was cool. We got and it was STF that I don't know if they done that purposely. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they did it like this because is it when you know who's returning? Is it pure coincidence that he's locked in STF on Roman?
There was another thing as well we've got to mention that I quite liked. going back to Charlotte and Rhea quickly, but Charlotte hit that that kind of spinning kind of back elbow that Andrade does when someone counters one of his kicks, and he does like a spinning back elbow. That was nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, they did bring that up. Yeah, I probably should have brought it up then, but yeah, well, better late than never anyway. But anyway, yes. So, but yes, did that. Just similar moments to we had at WrestleMania with like his eyes, like proper good stuff, like just getting out. But we did have a cool thing, a counter was Edge going for the spear, and then like Roman Reigns was able to lock it into that guillotine choke that he's won so many matches with at this point. And then we had and then it was just a situation of he was able to get out of it. Edge won the outside. It wouldn't be a kind of match without some sort of barrier break. Seems to be a thing with Roman.
Especially if both men's signature moves are spears.
Yes, you're going to miss a spear and you're going through a barrier. It's got to happen. It's in the rule book. But yes, he tried to go spear. Edge got out of the way. Edge went back into the ring trying to get the count, or kind of like the ref wasn't counting for some reason. I'm assuming to tell him that you're not going to win the title that way, so you got to go out and get him, right? I'm assuming that's why he didn't count the ref, right?
I guess so.
But I was just trying to figure it out, but I just thought out now. So, but yeah, and obviously, but icing on the cake. Roman Reigns can't hit a spear on the barricade. Oh, I can. So Edge just speared him through the barricade on the outside, like the timekeep area. Dragged him back in the ring. Tried to go for a pin, but just got a near fall, if I remember. We got Superman punches. We got another ref bump again.
Another one.
It seems to be, when you watch enough matches do it, they do it a lot. But with Roman, they've I'm sure that's like 3 matches in a row now where they've had a ref bump. I'm sure of it.
You know what's going to happen in the Roman Reigns match. You know there's going to be a ref bump. You know that Usos are going to get involved. Yeah,
and again, that did happen. Obviously, and the Mysterio stopped them. So good, that starts that feud. So that's awesome. But again, with one thing we probably should point out, they had this thing about the side of the chair. The thing that obviously was Edge used at WrestleMania to try and put it on his jaw to put more torque on it. Roman Reigns took that part of the chair and said, "Oh no, I'm going to beat you this way," and I think he did, and I remember he did. Like he did get it locked in, but Edge didn't allow it, and he locked it in, and there were a moment where he thought, "This is it," This is it. It's like, oh, he's gonna tap. Obviously, there's no ref, but surely the ref's got to come back at some point. But out of nowhere, they kind of set it up before the match. Seth Rollins comes out. And, super kick was like a super kick to Edge's face. But is it me, or did they mess this up a little bit, or did they overbooked it a little bit? Because this would have been a perfect way to end the match, right? Seth screws Edge, kicks him in the face. Roman hits a spear or something, and then gets the win. But they dragged it out a little bit more than they should.
Yeah, a little bit. Rollins just came suddenly back in, but why didn't the ref just not notice? I guess, which is it's the second time out. Well, I guess he was still down at that point. But you needed to have that near fall moment. You need to see Edge hitting the spear. All the crowd's back. They all want to see Edge hit the spear. The new referee comes down. 1, 2. Rowan kicks out, and Heyman's face is priceless.
He's always good at the facial expressions. He's brilliant at that. So obviously that. But then obviously Seth came out again, going, oh my god, he hasn't beaten him yet. Come on. So he came to the apron. Edge, takes him out, and then he turns around. Boom, spear by Roman Reigns, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and is still your Universal Champion. No surprise to most. But what surprised kind of for me is that Seth got involved. Yeah,
well, Seth did mention that after the Money in the Bank ladder match that, regardless of the result, he wants to be next in line. Okay. But again, working heel versus heel, not quite sure. Was there kind of an acknowledgement from Seth Rollins, I think, at the end of the match?
Possibly. I think it did look like that. But but again, Edge, obviously we had at the end of the match, Seth Rollins kept beating down on Edge, and then Edge fight back, and then he had a brawl that led on to the outside. So looks like they're going to have a match again. was on the list of people that I would actually like to see Edge face off against. I'm sure I remember when we had a list, Seth was on that list. So it's not a match I'm against because it would be great. So I'm looking forward to that. It'd be interesting to see what the story is there. So yes, obviously then you have Roman stand there saying, "Acknowledge me," and then I gotta be honest, I don't think I've heard Cena get a crowd reaction like this in a very long time.
Well, that's what happens when you've been away for 17, 18 months.
I know, I think I was just laughing while I was watching it because I remember the days when this guy couldn't get a cheer like in the way that like an ovation like that, right? And then he comes back and the place went nuts. I mean, Pat McAfee definitely went nuts because his commentary's great. So, but yeah, he came out with a new green and yellow top. Usual John Cena stuff. Ended the show, both facing off against each other. So it looks like that's Roman's opponent at SummerSlam.
Looks like it.
That again, it should be a good match, shouldn't it?
Should be. It's a rematch from, what was it, No Mercy? Was it No Mercy they had their match?
Can't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen.
I'd like to see the kind of development, especially of Roman, because we all know that infamous promo where Cena and Roman Reigns exchanged words and Roman forgot his words, forgot his lines. Cena called him out on it. That was entertaining.
Well, to be fair, Cena was supposed to be us, wasn't he?
Yeah, so seeing Roman Reigns not only just locking up with Cena, but also exchanging words and promos.
The promos are going to be like unbelievable, right? It's going to be great stuff there. Yeah, it's going to be a great build. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, so and that's what ended the show. And that's Money Bank 2021. I realised we're probably talking a bit too long, so it's probably like wrap this up a little bit, as we always do, you know. So I guess that's why you come here to hear us talk for many hours about wrestling. So, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's wraps up. So just for us, what's your final thoughts on the show? Like, what do you think? Was it one of the best of the year?
I think so. It's fantastic, obviously, to have the crowd back, but even then, the show itself, even if it was at the Thunderdome, the show itself was really good, I thought. There was only one match which underdelivered for me, and that was the women's ladder match. You could say Edge and Roman didn't quite live up to the hype, I guess. But I've been dragged a little bit. But the way Rhea, Ripley and Charlotte managed to win the crowd back, the dominant squash of Bobby Lashley in that story there is interesting. Big E winning the Money in the Bank. Omos is developing, the Viking Raiders. Hopefully, that's another strong tag team. They're still there. It's good to see them. Very entertaining show. I was happy. It was good to actually watch the show and enjoy it rather than it be something I have to watch. It was an enjoyable show. Yeah,
it's how to say it? I mean, to be fair, we've got. I think the Money Bank. Obviously, last year's that was just a weird time. It's a very strange time when it comes to Money in the Bank. But yeah, I think all those matches. I think they just cut. I wasn't surprised they cut time off that match and put it more on the main event. That I think the main event didn't need to be nearly 33 minutes long. It could have been at least 25 at least. It's still being equally as good. But yeah, Lashley doing. I love that Lashley's looking dominant, looking great. Loving the men's Money in the Bank match was by far like so good. It's really good there. And Big E winning is the right choice. And yeah, I mean, and obviously main event I did enjoy. I think a bit long, but yeah, I think it definitely delivers. That most Roman Reigns matches do. Let's be honest. He's been consistently good. I think ever since he's come back. When I think about it,
they have been. It's a very similar formula. They've just got to be wary of. You know, the ref bumps, the Usos coming down, the kind of scare for Roman, the big kind of near fall. So, will they do something different with Cena? Well, I guess Money in the Bank is now a factor, so they'll probably do something fresh with that. Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully, I mean, maybe you could do a situation of like most basic storylines do with they have a match that, or like he takes them out one by one. It's very Cena, or like. You know, do a situation where they have like a match that if they lose that they're banned from ringside or something. Mm-hmm. You know, or do that. There's ultimate possibilities. I think I think they will mix up a little bit. But again, it's like enjoyment factor. Roman Reigns' match is mostly like we're not going back to those Royal Rumble days when you were so annoyed that he won. I don't think we're going back to those days. I don't think, Josh. Do you think?
Now, I think I'll be more annoyed if Cena won, especially if Cena were to win and then the cash-in happens. Like, well, you're, I guess, the greatest world champion of all time, most world title reigns, but your last one lasted like 20 seconds. That would be silly.
But let's hope not. But again, I'm looking forward to that. They've set up some interesting matches. You got obviously this and Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins versus Edge. Really looking forward to that. I think obviously probably going to have, as you said, I'm still going with Charlotte Becky. I think that's where they're going with that. I think that's and obviously the Usos and the Mysterios fighting off in a series of matches for them tag titles is yes please.
Orton and Riddle going for the Raw Tag Team Championship as well.
That surprisingly works. That I don't know how, but that's why we love wrestling. Sometimes things just work, and no one knows why. But yeah, I think I'm really for this. The show done exactly what a show before the big event does. It bigs you up to want to watch SummerSlam. I'm really pumped for this show now. I'm really excited for it. So, grade wise, would you give it 7, 8? Would 8 be would it be a fair, good rating?
It's close to 8, 7.5, 8. I'd say this is like a B minus kind of show, B minus B show. Yeah. Is
it best of the year so far in WWE? Because I think WrestleMania was quite good. Well, I think that.
Yeah, big probably like come next to WrestleMania if you exclude NXT. Yeah.
Yeah, but we all know they're a separate company with a separate list. So, but yeah, that's our review of Money in the Bank. Hope you enjoyed. I've enjoyed talking about it. I always love talking about wrestling with Josh. So it's been fun. Obviously, as always, we still had our prediction game was going on last night, wasn't it? So
it was. I'm
assuming they'll be out on our Twitter, Just Do Pod. Next couple of days? But
yep, very very soon.
So it'll be interesting. I'm intrigued to see my score because I actually used my tiebreaker correctly, and I think I done well. So I'm intrigued to see what score I get. So fingers crossed, eh? But yeah, so check that out. Obviously, if you haven't already, hopefully if you're halfway through or through this review, you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, then all I say to that is, what are you doing? Like, please subscribe. That would be really helpful.
Press the bloody button.
Yes. No excuse. It's not hard to find. It's no excuse not to. So yes, like and subscribe. So yeah, that'd be really helpful and really appreciated. And leave a comment as well because we'd love to chat to you guys about the show because I thought I enjoyed it. I would love to see what you guys think. Did you enjoy it as well, or did you? Because I didn't have time to put a poll this time, so I don't have a gauge on Twitter on why if people love this. Like I think one show I put and they put 100%, like 60% said it was a bad show. So I was like, that's it. That sucks. But I've got a feeling this would have got in the great column because it was a great show. So yeah. So review wise, I think the next review we'll probably do is All Out. No.
Isn't it?
No, NXT. That's right, NXT. I think they're in Las Vegas. They're having a show this year.
That's
going to probably have Karen Cross.
The takeover crowds are back.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait for that. Especially when was it the Samoa Joe's the NXT is NXT now, and he's completely rejuvenated the whole show.
That's going to build up to like a Survivor Series-esque kind of war games, isn't it?
To be fair, it needs to happen again. We need that again because it made that run when NXT was in it. It's so good. It's like I know why they didn't do it last year, but bring that back, yes. So yeah, I think it's. I don't think they have a special name for it yet, but I think it's NXT Takeover Las Vegas. I think so. And it's setting up with Joe versus Cross that you would have thought would have been great, but they've set up quite well. So I'm excited for that. So unless obviously, as always with us, something crops up or something bad happens or something happens, there's a good 99.9% chance that me and Josh will be back for that. So
maybe even in the same room.
Yes, possibly. That would be nice. Yeah, maybe we can try and do our first review together, not through Facebook like chat or Skype, actually seeing each other face to face for the first time probably since January last year, possibly. So it's been a while. So hopefully that happen. We'll try and make that happen. If not that, it might be SummerSlam. We'll see what we can sort out. But yeah, so we'll be back for that. So that'd be fun. So yeah, so guess we just got to end this review saying I've been Stuart Van.
I've been Joshua Plummer.
And yeah, we're back for NXT. So enjoy your week, and we're back, and we're back then. Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.